Now I'm really excited to see how this gets translated into the choreography music video. So let's watch that. I like that part. I really like the red hair on Bangyu. Obviously, I'm fond of redheads. Ooh. Ah. I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. I'm just feeling a lot of things. I feel like such badasses here. I don't know what it is about like the suits with the skinny ties, but it just like adds a certain something.
I like them back.
Oh. Oh man, I don't know if I can handle this era, to be honest. Oh, that was so good. I just have no words at this point, like, mind empty, just TXT. I just don't know how they keep doing this of just raising the bar more and more and more and more. Like every album, I'm just like, you know what, this is it. This is the time. They can't improve. They can't peak any higher than they have at this point, and they just keep doing it. Hear that, Bangyu? You guys are crushing it. But alrighty, let's keep going with this album and get to Trust Fund Baby next. Now, this is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One, I'm very curious by this concept of a trust fund baby and what exactly they're going to be addressing here. Like, are they going to be criticizing a trust fund baby? But also the fact that this is the bargaining stage in the stages of grief. So how are these two things going to mix with each other? Oh, I'm just very curious. So let's find out.
빛이 나는 스폰 내게는 넌 얘기 누군가의 꿈 이미 다 가진 그들의 삶 속엔 없는 게임 over 원하면 뭐든 지킬 수 있겠지 나와 다르니 그게 한 평의 방이 됐든 꿈이 됐든 사랑이든 I can be a lover 이 세계 잘
Again, the vocals here. What is going on with this album and their vocals? Like, oh, nobody prepared me for this. Why did nobody prepare me for this? Like, from the very beginning, some of these lines, like Yeonjun saying, spoon that shines, to me, it's someone else's story, which I assume is kind of referencing the concept of like a silver spoon. And just like this kind of feeling of almost like resentment, where they're saying someone's dream, which they already have in their life, there's no game over. So they could already have what anybody could want, and there's no such thing as like a bad ending for them because they have the world at their fingertips. And then kind of like a feeling of almost like bitterness and jealousy here, saying, why can't that life be mine? And I find this concept so interesting for them to be covering because, you know, in theory, you could say, oh, well, you know, TXT are celebrities. Like, I'm sure they have lots of money, but at the same time, like, they had to claw their way to the top and fight so hard and work so hard to get to where they are. Whereas, you know, there are people who just had what TXT has completely handed to them. And these two lines here, empty wallet, but more than that, the name of an empty heart's name is lover with no $sign. So that feels almost like a reference to Loser Lover, but it's almost like mixing metaphors here of, you know, empty wallet, empty heart, and the fact that they're not, you know, rich with either thing. But okay, let's continue. Yeah, very like Loser Lover vibes.
I'll never be a trust for made it now. 그 삶이 내 거면 왜 안 되는 걸까? 빈 wallet 그보다 더 펴버린 마음의 이름을 love with no $sign. I'll never be a trust for baby. No, I wish everything's
And those just like dreamy instrumentals.
I'll never be a trust for maybe. No, I wish everything's
Wow, that was a short one, but like it packed a punch. I just found that pairing of both the lyrics and the instrumental so interesting, in the fact that, you know, there's like almost like these dreamy pianos and this dreamy instrumental in the background that is contrasted against these lyrics that are kind of sad and depressed, of almost of them dreaming and wishing of another life. I just find TXT's music is so good at just like hitting you in the feels. They're such good storytellers in their music, and this one just felt like really like moving and powerful, despite being kind of understated in a lot of ways. I'm just, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know. I think this album is in contention with Freeze at this point in terms of my favorites. Just like, I feel like it's just pulling me left and right and pulling at my emotions and tugging at my heartstrings. I don't think we're getting this on the album, but I just want happiness for them now. Like, I want to bring them joy and make their pain go away and hear them be happy. But, you know, judging on this photo from Hyunin Kai where he looks like he's about to cry, I don't know if we're getting that with this next song, which is called Lonely Boy. And I'm very intrigued here to see that we have subunits. From what I can remember, I think this is the first subunit that I've come across in their music so far. And I love a good subunit. I love it when different vocalists get to be featured because, you know, when you have 5 members, it's hard to showcase all of them in each song. So when they get their moment to shine, when I get to hear them individually, I love those. Like solo songs and subunits tend to be my favorite songs from other groups. So I'm excited for this one. Okay, let's go.
나만 홀로 남아 여기 없어 너는 그런 남긴 흔적마저 lonely 날카로운 바늘로 찌거나
So this is very firmly depression stage. Oh. Ooh, that visual. I love those harmonies. This is an interesting one. Because it is like very much a vibe, but at the same time you can feel the like underlying sadness and some of the angstiness in some of these lyrics. Like kind of like the last song where you felt the resentment for the trust fund baby. You really feel their resentment for this girl where Hyunin Kai is saying she ain't my one and only, and almost comparing the memory and the remnants of her to a sharp needle that stabs deeply, mercilessly. Your words that dug into my skin is cruel. So it sounds like she was a terrible, abusive person, and that mark replaced the ring, the tattoo called you above my 4th finger. So from what I understand, the significance of, you know, like the ring finger is not exactly the same in Korea, but that it still has like a significance to love. So it's almost like that existence of her has been carved out. Like the visuals they're just creating in the song are so strong. And again, references to that mark that she's left, saying your trace that won't heal, where it's almost like you can't move on until you're rid of her, you're rid of that trace. So ooh, the song is like giving me chills. Like I find their vocals just go so well together. Like it's incredible so far, but let's continue. He like blaming himself. That just like really struck something in me because, you know, a lot of people who are victims of abusive relationships will blame themselves for what has happened. And, you know, he said that those words just tore into him, but still he finds himself kind of blaming himself for what happened. I don't know. That just like, I just got hit with like a wave of emotion because, you know, I don't know if I want to go as far as saying that I've been in an abusive relationship before, but in the past I was in a relationship where my boyfriend at the time made me feel like I was stupid. And I just want to clarify that that's far in the past. My husband now treats me like an absolute queen, but the song is just kind of like, it's like digging up things that I didn't really realize that I still like had inside me. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep going. So let's continue.
별인 싫어 이제 하루 일은 낫지 않은 이 저기 standing here alone lonely to stay lonely ain't my one and only one and only stay lonely stay lonely stay lonely stay lonely stay lonely stay lonely stay lonely.
I can just hear like the vulnerability in their voices.
Stay lonely.
Yeah, ugh. These songs are just incredible. Like, I feel like that is the marker of such a fantastic song that just really pulls emotions out of you, even if you don't want those emotions pulled out of you. I just continue to be blown away. And I can't really quite articulate the words because I'm just like feeling a lot of things right now. So I apologize if I'm not just like as coherent as usual. I've been on an emotional roller coaster throughout this album, and now it seems like we're getting to the point of acceptance in this last song, which is Thursday's child has far to go, which from the, nursery rhyme kind of implies of there's like a tough road ahead for Thursday's child. But in this stage of acceptance, it's almost like I accept that I have a long way to go, but I'm prepared to tackle it. So I hope that's what we get to address here in this song because I'm ready for them to feel better. I don't know about you. So let's do it. This seems more upbeat. Kind of like 80s synth. Reminds me of like Take On Me. So it's like a breakup song. But it's almost like relief. I'll never cry again. Ooh. Again. Vocals. Stellar. Okay, so again, such an interesting song because like there's still a twinge of sadness to it that you can feel because, based on the lyrics, the song is kind of implying that they're planning on a breakup, but it's not actually happened yet. So like I understand that feeling because I've been on that end of just like knowing that you need to break up with somebody and knowing that you're going to do it, but just anticipating the sadness is hard, but at the same time knowing that that's the best path in the long run and like anticipating that relief too, like Bamgyu saying on the destined day of being the child of Thursday, make me walk again, feeling so good. And again, the kind of conflicting emotions here from Taehyun, who sang smile that blooms above the tears. So like I remember that very vividly of literally crying so hard while breaking up with somebody, but still at the same time having that almost like anticipatory feeling of what it's going to be like on the other side. And then Subin's part of I'll never cry again, of that being like free from the misery. Oh my gosh. These 5 songs, I don't know if any K-pop album has made me feel more things than this album has made me feel in just 5 songs. How do they do this? Like, ugh. But all right, let's close it out. Grow up. Splendid days await. Yeah, this song is just striking that tone so perfectly. I'm just like on the cusp of freedom, but just not quite there yet. Oh my goodness, what I have been through. I almost feel like embarrassed of having everybody witness what I have felt going through all of these 5 songs. I don't know. I cannot describe the feeling. It's like something I've never felt before listening to any other K-pop album, of going through like the emotional ringer. I would be so curious to know if you felt the same thing, like going through this, or if I'm just all alone over here. And you know, after listening to this song and the fact that the album is called Thursday's Child, like it makes so much more sense to hear all these different things that they're experiencing, all these different emotions that they're going through. But then towards the end of the album, at least having an idea of what their path is like to the other side. It's just moving. It's stunning. I'm sure there's so many MOAs who can relate to so many different aspects of this album. Like, I think I'm really gonna have to take some time to really absorb everything from this album, but I have a feeling that this will go down as one of my favorites of all time, let alone of TXT, but of all time, just because of what the impact was of each of these different songs. I'm just stunned, amazed, wowed, awed. Like, TXT has really put together a masterpiece here. So thank you, friends, for sticking with me with this video. Oh, I feel like I need to go recover after this, like take a nap or something, because this album has done things to me and I absolutely adored it. I feel like the need to write an essay about this album because of just like how purely and utterly spectacular it is, how clever it was, how many different themes it touched on, how many different emotions it touched on. But I feel like I've felt too many things at this point to be able to accurately and adequately put things into words. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I would be so curious to get your thoughts on this album, if you were feeling the same things as I did, and what your favorite songs were, if you could even pick one. I don't know if I can pick one. I don't know if I could pick one, but please let me know what you thought in the comments. I would also love to give a shout out to my $5 patrons, who are Aurora, MJN, Aaron M, Jem, Hope to Dust, Jennifer O, Kirsten, Lisa H, Mila B, Miss CJ, Rancid Barbie, Rochelle, Sarah B, Tiffers, and Vicos. If you would like to get a shout out at the end of every single one of my YouTube videos, as well as early access to my YouTube videos and access to exclusive content that is not available on my YouTube channel, I will put a list on the screen here of all of the current TXT content that I have on my Patreon, as well as my reaction to the Thursday's Child comeback show that I'm going to upload onto my Patreon, and I don't know how I'm going to make it through that. That's going to be coming at the end of July, and you can support me on Patreon for as little as $3 by visiting me at patreon.com/laurenclaire. Okay friends, next time I would love some recommendations for more TXT content. Would you like to see Japanese songs? Would you like to see covers? Would you like to see some more compilation video reactions? Let me know what you'd like to see down in the comments, and I'd be happy to take your suggestions. But until next time, when hopefully by then I've emotionally recovered, I hope that you're doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourself because you deserve it, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.